Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Witch Queen still Season of Plunder intel. But if you're like me, you're probably looking forward to next season and are just trying to farm out as many endgame mats as possible until then. And why not take advantage of this week's Grandmaster Nightfall, which once again is the GLASSWAY strike. And I know in the past, the GLASSWAY has not been the go-to when it comes to just trying to farm out mats, simply because it's so long and arduous, and in the past has, as I've said before, given me nightmares, as this was the last strike I needed to complete one season for my Conqueror seal, and I just wasn't able to do it. Fortunately, since then, I have been able to complete this strike fairly regularly, and I've picked up several tips, glitches, and cheeses for this strike that will help any novice player complete it with relative ease. You have to have at least a decent fire team, of course, and the right setup, but overall, much simpler this season than it has been in the past. If you can complete this Grandmaster, or this strike at Grandmaster, you will receive the Adept version of the DFA hand cannon. Remember, you can still get the DFA if you complete this on any difficulty. It just is a little bit rarer of a drop. If you do this on master level, you're still going to get some golf balls, of course, which I'm sure are the things that people are going for the most, the Ascendant Shards. So I would maybe even think about farming this on master if that is something you're lacking. But know that at Grandmaster, you're going to get essentially double the chances. So if you would get maybe one Ascendant Shard, you'll have a chance at 2 for the Grandmaster. Now, the first thing that I really want to talk about, because it's the section that I hear the most feedback about other than the boss room, is the plate section. This is a very open area. You have enemies spawning on the right and left sides. You have snipers on the right and left sides. A big misconception about this particular area is that you actually have to hold the plate the entire time in order to get it to actually build up so that you can progress. That is not true. Standing on the plate simply spawns the adds in, and it will give you a certain bit of progress, but that progress will stay even if you get off of the plate. So, the best strategy for this section is to stand on the plate until the adds spawn in, go to the back towards where the door is, mitigate all the adds, and then go back and stand on the plate. Now, this is an area where stasis really comes in handy, simply because you can stagger the adds and how often you have to face them with some stasis turrets. There's also a really easy glitch spot in the back of the room on the right side that you can sort of tuck in behind. It's to the right of the door, the panel right in front of the door on the right side. You can get behind that. That'll keep you out of danger from all the adds, though I would suggest only doing that if you really run into trouble. Because if you do happen to die in this area, based on my past experience, your teammates might have a difficult time actually spawning you there. So really only use that for desperate situations. Most of the time, if you have a little bit of healing maybe in your fire team, just stay in the back of the room by the crates right behind the plate. You should be able to avoid enough damage in that area and just have somebody concentrate on the snipers on the right, the snipers on the left, which are really going to be the big problems. The shanks really aren't as major a problem until the sniper shanks arrive. And then once we get into the boss room, now, one thing I would really suggest, even though you don't see me using it here, to bring with you that made runs much easier, I mean, at least 75% easier for my fire team, was if you have anybody that has a divinity, have them bring it with them. Stasis and divinity were like the two things that really allowed us to complete the last phase of this strike, because even though it's difficult leading up to the boss fight in itself is probably harder than the entire rest of the strike. The first 3 areas of the strike, or 4 areas of the strike, are nowhere near as tough as the boss. And the boss is actually going to take you probably more time than all of those sections. On average, with my fire team, who are a pretty adept group of guys, shout out to Sinister, and I believe it was DJ who I was doing this with. The only way we really got this done was when we had Divinity. And that's simply because there are so many Overload champions at the end that unless you can stun 2 of them and keep them stunned, meaning chain stun them, you're not going to be able to complete it. You'll get overrun, and by chain stunning, I mean you're going to need something that picks up the stun as quickly as possible. And the only thing that I've seen that really does that well is Divinity. Now you can use this spot. This is the major glitch spot for the boss room. This is on the left side of the room. If you want to see me run here again really quick, simply make your way over to this spot, and then you can jump up and you can actually get out of bounds. It's a great spot. It works, but it's important to make sure that you're actually well prepared as well, because if you're not, this spot isn't going to save you. It'll save you from dying, yes, but it won't allow you to actually progress, because the major problem, the only problem with this particular spot, is the mini boss that you see here. If you can't get the enemies to actually congregate in that hallway, they're just going to disperse, and they're not going to be drawn to you there because you are out of bounds. So you will not be able to actually kill them all. Now, if you can get them to go directly beneath you, it's just a kill pit. One strategy that I have used in the past that has had some success in doing this is actually having one of your teammates die right in the middle of the hallway. Their ghost node will essentially draw aggro into that area, and you can get the mini boss out of the way, and then the rest of the stuff can be sort of taken on one at a time. Now, the reason why that doesn't always work is because, like I said, the champions, the Overload champions in this area are not really always drawn to the aggro, and because they can kind of shoot at you versus they actually have to just hit you, they can just shoot at your orb, so they'll tend to stand outside of the hallway. But this is a really good desperate area, especially for getting rid of the mini boss, because the mini boss is kind of one of the major problems. You can even be fairly competent in mitigating all the champions, but the mini boss will somehow find his way around to just, you know, flank you from the opposite side of the map. It's happened to me so many times that it's just become like an expected thing. So you might want to use that area simply for the first part of a phase of ads, but then get out and take out the champions. A great spot overall is sort of in the backside of this room, on the left room towards the entrance of the room, even though you see me dead here. It's a good spot all around just because you can get the boss to sort of aggro its way towards the door, and then you can sort of shoot through the corner of the door. What my teammates would do was we would sort of leave a stasis turret right at the front of this door and another one at the entrance of the hallway that would give us some sort of traffic towards where we wanted the ads to go, so we'd kind of pincer them in to this area versus them coming around the back. Seemed to do the most work for us. But even still, the average run at Grandmaster for the Glassway for us was about 40 minutes. So just keep that in mind. If you have Divinity, bring it. One person with stasis turret, Bleak Watcher, a Warlock is going to be the best. Definitely bring it, and you probably won't have too much trouble. It'll just take a while. No matter how good you are at utilizing all these things, it's still going to take a bit of time. This is probably the longest strike, other than Lightblade, this season. But that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell, the post notifications, so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Witch Queen content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Any of those things I just mentioned also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and I do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And if you've watched to this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag GLASSWAY or a hashtag GRANDMASTER or a hashtag Witch Queen or Season of Plunder in the comments section down below. That'll give you another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And remember, I do those secret hashtags on all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Good luck farming your DFA or endgame mats if that's what you're doing, or if you're going for your Conqueror Seal. And as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you next time. Little